What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shyhammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and I'm bringing you a game against Ian. But today it's not his Cthulhu-themed Warriors of the Dark Gods, his Warriors of the Cthulhu Gods army. Today is a game against his Vampire Coven and his Nosferatu list here. So, I'm going to go ahead and just cut the BS. We got 2,500 points. We're going to go into what armies we brought, and more or less, let's just get right into the game. So, first thing, he has a unit of skeleton warriors here. They have, I believe, hand weapon shield, or it might be spear and shield. Over here, he has 2 spirit hosts, and then to the left, you could barely see him. Actually, I'll just pull up a better picture. Actually, back here, this is his characters. The one in the blue dress, that is his vampire lord. She has the Strigoi bloodline. It gives her all this kind of like magic boost and stuff like this. The BSB also has a banner of, I forgot which banner it is, but it helps boost their combat res as well as boost magic, I believe. And then the guy on the left, that is his White King in the unit of Tomb Guard, I guess, or I don't know what the hell their name is. I'm going to pull this up really quick because I always mess this up and I don't want to mess it up. So bear with me for a second. Alright, anyways, I'll pull that up. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Over here, he has his 2 bats on the left. He has 2 units of wolves. The wolves are about 7 deep, I want to call them. Roughly, one of them is led by Mr. Wiggles, which is honestly the name that they named the Dread Wolf. The guy in the tree is called the Varkalak. What the hell's a Varkalak? Where did they come up with that name, Varkalak? What the hell? But it is vampiric on a 3+. It has fear, has hatred, regen. It gets it could buy upgrades for flying, vanguard, and stomp. Which fly 8, it's for 40 points. It's already moving 8. I don't know if we will want to buy a fly 8, but whatever. They're called the Barrow Guard, and then there's the Barrow Knights. The Barrow Guard is the guys, basically they have halberds. You can take them either with halberds or great weapons. That's actually pretty interesting because halberds, I mean, you don't lose that initiative 3. Whoa, they got faster. They don't lose that initiative 3, and they're also going to be strength 5 automatically. Great weapons, though, you know, strength 6. Who could argue that? They already get lethal strike, though. That's pretty cool. Automatically. That's not even like just a cavalry or anything. Bodyguard, if there's a Barrow King in there, that's pretty cool. Multiple wounds, 2+ against infantry, war beasts, and cavalry, and magical attacks. Wow, they're pretty impressive. That's a pretty impressive stat line, actually. All right. So, and then in the back over there with the giant tree, that is a unit of ghouls. It's like 40 ghouls roughly. Oh, these guys over here. Oh, these guys over here. What the hell are these? I'm going to look them up right now. I don't think they're the ghasts. They're not vampire. What are they? I'm trying to look up to see. Maybe they're rare. I think they're just like wraiths. They are wraiths. Wow. They have great weapons. If they're blood ties to Nosferatu, they may upgrade a champion. They get 2 attacks each, strength 5. But they do get armor piercing, or no armor saves. That's awesome. They're skirmishers. They cause terror. They have a bodyguard rule. They also have the Reaper rule, and that is nuts. They also get, that's pretty impressive. That's like I said, that's Mr. Wiggles right there with the wolves, and it's my side. My side right here, I got my unit of forest goblins. Now my forest goblins here, they have tomahawk, short bows. They do have 2 characters in that unit. One of the characters is a level 1 shaman, and then the other one is a long shot. Long shot has the skull splitter. I thought it was a bow because it's 24-inch range, but they never explain what kind of weapon it is. It's just a ranged weapon. So I'm just assuming he could possibly be throwing his javelin in his hand or his fan. Alright, over here I have a unit of 44 goblins with spears. There is 1 character in that unit, which is my level 3 goblin shaman, and this is also on version 10.0. So I know 11.0 just came out, so there's some rules that are kind of existent while we played this game, and then they kind of just go away in the following game. Over here, I brought out a splatterer, and I brought out a Git launcher. I usually do double Git launchers, but I wanted to save some points, and I also wanted to try out my my splatterer for a bit because just for the hell of it. I do have my trusty Gargantula, the Ragnarok. He is just the Gargantula, I guess. Over here is my War Boss Dread Irontooth. I am working on his replacement model as we speak, or as I speak. And then, there it is, my Orc Chariot. Check that out. That is honestly the one I'm entering into the content team challenge. It is fully converted by me. I do it. I do most of it on camera, to be honest. So you could watch me like try to figure out what I'm doing. At this point, it's almost complete in this picture, except it's missing its banner. I finished it like that day, I think, or the night of, and I just finished the banner, and it's finished. It's great. I love it. All right. Over here, I have a big unit of like 30 feral orcs. Ed Bashers, or I think they're called Ed Bashers now. They do have the Mammoth Stabba, or the Big Stabadon as I like to call it. They also have the BSB with Mikanox Totem, which gives them a magic resistance, more or less, D6, and also destroys any magic items touching the flag. And then over here I have this guy. It used to be my Terrorgeist that never got summoned, but now it is a giant. That is my giant. I just use the inside base for the right base size. Over here I got the infamous Lord King Chickenhead. King Chickenhead. Alright, so my spells, I made these magic cards, by the way, too, and I did mess up on a lot of typos. And not only did I mess up on typos, they ended up changing all the rules on version 11.0, so I have to change all the numbers and stats on these cards as well. But I did get Turn to Smoke, Mind Razor, Shadow Miasma, and Glimpse at the end. And then over for my level 1, I got Vindictive, or Evil Eye, and then my other level 1, which is Orc Shaman, he got Here We Go. As for deployment, we just did standard battle line. Going to go ahead and just line up across each other. I started thinking, like, I kept on telling myself the reason why I lose games is because of how I deploy. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out, like, alright, I'm watching him deploy. I think he pulled all his guys out first. He does have vanguards as well. I think I put down a good chunk of mine, which forced him to put down a good chunk of his. But I put my Feral Orcs in the center. They're protected on both flanks. They're the ones who have the heaviest point cost in the unit, period. But they're also the strongest fighters. So they're right in the gut. They're protected on both flanks by monsters and goblins. Okay, the left side's a little stronger because they got the General, the Gargantula, and the Chariot. The right side only has the Giant, but the Giant is stubborn 10. But I also got those buildings in the way on the right side, and I have that Force, and which makes the Goblins stubborn as well, as long as they're skirmishers. So that's great. Chickenhead is popping up behind a building, of course, just to be a jerk. And sure enough, as I said, Ian actually gets the vanguards. He goes ahead and moves up the dogs, both units of dogs. And he also moves up his Varkalak here, and that kind of like, oh man, that thing's ugly. I don't know what it does in this edition, so I don't want to know. So I'm gonna go ahead and target that thing first. But sure enough, he just moves up. Actually, I think I won roll off. I did win roll off. That was just his vanguards. I'm sorry. Turn 1, Orcs and Goblins. I move everybody up. Everybody just goes up in a wall forward. Now, I do have the range advantage against him. I should be taking advantage of that. But at the same time, I'm just like, you know what? He's going to chaff me up. I know how Ian plays. He's going to chaff me up. He's going to make my Feral Orcs run into buildings and do stuff like that. So I got to go ahead and beat him to the punch, right? So, Magic Phase, I got 7 power dice. I go ahead and I throw up Glimpse of the End. And I barely get it. Or actually, yeah, I get it off. 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I don't get it off. Can't get it off. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, failed that one. Actually, I think I did get it off. I just put the dice on there, and that's all it did. Whatever. If I didn't, I didn't. I don't know. I'll explain it in a minute. I go for Shadow Miasma, and it fails. And that's it for my magic. I'm going to go ahead into ranged. My unit of Forest Goblins are just decide to throw all their tomahawks right into the Varkalak, and they end up putting on 2 wounds onto him. My guys on top of the Gargantula shoot the dogs, and they kill off one of the dogs. And then I just decide, fuck it, let's throw a Git at him. So Git launcher's going right at him. It hits him. It wounds him. It does 5 wounds. Bam! Kill that son of a bitch. Through his regen. He had really shitty regen rolls, and that is awesome. Took care of the first thing, the first blood of the game right there, which is a big monster. Got the splatter. Decide I'm going to just shoot it right at these. I think they're barrel guards, I said. And sure enough, it drifts off just a little bit, but it hits a good chunk of them, and it kills off 4 of them only. All right, so that's about it. It's going to start off his turn. Vampire's turn 1. He's going to go ahead and move up his spirit hosts this way. He's going to go ahead and move up his, like I said, he moves his dogs right in front of my feral orcs. They're going to go ahead and have to just sit there for a turn or two. And he starts moving up all his units like in a diagonal. He knows Chicken Head's on the left. He doesn't want to deal with Chicken Head much right now. Magic Face, he got 7 power dice. He's going to go ahead and do an invocation, gets it off, and he restores a couple of the barrel guard that I killed. He throws up skeletons. He restores the barrel guard anyways because of the way vampires work now, where they always restore a wound. But sure enough, he throws up this unit of skeletons right here to block my forest goblins and also block my giant. So as you can see, my giant's just chilling right there. So that was about it. He had nothing to shoot, and it's going to go ahead and start off my turn. Now, right now, as you can see, I can't charge his dogs with my forest goblins. I could charge his dogs with my goblins, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that, because then I'm just exposing my flank. Or even if I wipe them out and whatever and reform, my goblins really should be protecting my own flank, especially against his ghouls, and he has 3 units right there. So I'm like, alright, let's just go ahead and play this game a little longer. Let's get rid of those guys. I'm not going to charge anybody. I'm going to just move up a little bit and just deal with it. Magic Face got 5 power dice. I go ahead, there we go. I throw up Glyphs to the end. Now, I get it off. I throw it onto the barrel guard because they're toughness 4, and I'm like trying to hit them with the splatterer, so I want to get more wounds in. I do use the shadow step, which is the tribute, and I throw it onto Chicken Head, and Chicken Head flies over through the building to this side over here, to the side flank of the dogs and everything like that, and he's just like, ugh. Shooting phase, these guys over here, they're going to go ahead and shoot at the dogs. And they throw a shit ton of tomahawks at these dogs. They're in close range. Oh my god. As you can see, my goblin here is holding up his trophy. Like, kill those damn dogs. The Git Launcher goes for the Bear Guard, kills off only 1. Then the Splatterer goes and kills off 5 more. He's like, holy shit, you rolled 2... like extremely good shots with that rock thrower, and I'm like, I know. So I'm just gonna keep on doing the way I'm doing it. It's working. The glimpse of the end did help on the wounds. My giant charged into combat with his skeletons over there, and I rolled a 1, which is yell. And I yell, and I think I only kill like 1 or 2 guys because of combat res, and that's it. Come on, man. 1 because his BSB is close enough. That sucks. Didn't even get to Thunderstomp. If you could Thunderstomp with Yell, can you please tell me and let me know that if that goes off or not? Because I thought I read some more there, but it didn't really explain it. So sure enough, he's going to go ahead and reform and face off at my Giants, and that does suck for me. Turn 2, Vampires. He's going to go ahead and move up these Wraiths right behind Chicken Head. He actually goes ahead and he goes through Chicken Head. There's no armor save wounds, and I'm gonna have to take a bunch of ward saves or regen saves, and I go ahead and I do it, and he wounded I think like 4, and I regened 3 of them, so he got 1 wound off. If they're flaming, I don't think they're flaming. I just read it. They're not flaming, but if they were flaming, I would definitely have my Dragonbane or Dragonfire gem. He moves up the bats now in front of the Feral Orcs, again, trying to chaff me up, and I'm just like, ugh. And he moves up Mr. Wiggles' unit right in front of Chicken Head. Ah, man. Alright. Magic Phase, he got 8 power dice. He's going to go ahead and throw up Invocation onto these skeletons, and he starts raising more skeletons than the starting size just to chaff up my giant. This sucks. Oh, man, that sucks. And then he, of course, restores wounds onto his Tomb Guards. He goes ahead and he throws up a second raised skeletons, and he throws up a unit right behind my Forest Goblins. As for, that's it. Close combat, my giant rolls a 2. And I think, was it a 2? I think it might have been a 2. I think this is swing with club. So he goes ahead and he swings. and he ends up killing off 6 guys. He thunderstomps and kills off a bunch more, and holy shit, did they start to crumble. They started crumbling big time. There's only 4 left. Unfortunately, they're doing their job. They're holding up my giant. His skeletons are getting closer, as you can see. And it's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Chicken Head's charging! Screw this. If he was the general, he would wog right now, just for the hell of it. Alright, so he charges into Mr. Wiggles' unit. As you can see, all these guys are climbing all over the giant, because the giant can't do much. And you know what? I still don't charge in. I just kind of move around the flanks like this. I'm trying to get ready. I am waiting for my turn. That's what I'm doing. And right now I'm hitting them with rock lavas or splatterers. And I'm hitting them with git launchers. And I'm just shooting them down. And I'm really, honestly, every turn I'm going, I'm just trying to kill the chaff that's in front of my Feral Orcs. Because once my Feral Orcs get a chance to charge, they're charging. Alright, so Magic Face. Got 7 power dice. I'm going to go ahead and I throw up Shadow Miasma, and he dispels it. I go ahead and I throw up Evil Eye, and I throw 4 dice onto Evil Eye. I get it off, and I blast the crap out of his whatchamacallit, his bats. So the bats are dead. Actually, no, I don't shoot the bats. I shot his barrow guard over here. I shot his barrow guard, and I ended up killing off 7 of them. Holy shit! I go ahead and I shoot him with the Howdah crew up here. Howdah crew kills off 1 ghoul. And then I go ahead and I shoot with all my goblins here, my forest goblins, to his bats. I only kill off 1 of the bats. My character in there kills off the other bat, and that is that over there. The gate launcher shoots at the barrel guard, kills off 3 more. Then the splatterer goes again, direct hit, kills off, holy shit, like 10 of them. Holy shit, with a direct hit. I'm wiping out that unit, and he's just like, holy shit. So he challenges with the dreaded Mr. Wiggles, and I am going to go ahead and I have to accept. I go ahead and I kill Mr. Wiggles with the maximum 4 overkill. He's going to lose combat, but unfortunately his crumble leaves him at 1 guy, which he planned out perfectly. That's why he challenged with Mr. Wiggles. And over here the giant finishes off the skeleton crew, but he basically can't do much. It's going to start off Vampire turn 3. Vampire turn 3 is going to charge the spirits into my giant. That sucks because he's ethereal. He charges my rear of my forest goblins with his skeletons. And he charges his wraiths right into the side of my Gargantula. He's going to go ahead and do this charge here with his skeletons into my forest goblins. I'm going to go ahead and stand and shoot. Look at these 6s. Those are all poison shots. Holy shit, 7 poisons. So I killed a couple of them as they come on in, and sure enough, I killed 7 of them. Wow, he failed every armor check. And he's going to go ahead and get in, of course, on both there. I think he moved back a little bit on these guys here. Magic Face, he got 4 power dice. He goes ahead and tries to stop the Glimpse of the End. It couldn't stop it on 2 dice, so he uses the rest of the dice onto Invocation onto the Barrow Guard, refill their ranks. Close combat. Close combat, Chicken Head finished off the dog. And he's just going to go ahead and face off towards the ghoul for my next turn. And then the Gargantula over here, he ended up getting wounded once by these guys, but he ends up losing combat just because he can't hit them. They're ethereal. I hit him probably for 8 or 9 wounds. He ward saves everything. And he got a charge, side flank, and a wound. So I'm going to go ahead and roll it. My general's right there, so I'm like, I got a 10 easy. I'm just going to stick there for a round of combat. Hopefully Chicken Head might come down and help him out. But sure enough, check this out. I roll an 11. What the fuck? God damn it. So the Gargantula is going to go ahead and run center to center unit, and he's going to end up running in this direction, this way, through my chariot, which is the only thing that's really going to panic, and then through my general. I end up rolling really high on the running. He goes ahead and chases me down, and he ends up just outside the chariot. So I got away, thank God. Only took 1 wound. I got out of that combat, which is great, actually. And I set myself up. Over here, the giant ends up doing 5. This is Swingwood Club. And he ends up doing 0 wounds. So he ends up doing 10 or 11 damage with swing and with thunderstomps, and it just didn't do a damn wound. So they're gonna stick there. They couldn't wound him. I couldn't wound him. he couldn't win me, I couldn't win him, and we're just gonna stick there for a round. Over here, I challenge with Longshot. He accepts with the champ, and Longshot does 2 wounds. So he's gonna go ahead and my goblins do 2 wounds onto his skeletons. His vampire lord goes, kills off like 5-6 guys or 4 guys or something crazy. His skeletons go, they kill off a bunch more, and I'm losing huge. Both his BSB and his general have a shit ton of attacks. They're vampire lords, and they're just gonna like kick my ass. And all of a sudden, I'm losing combat big time. But I'm skirmishers in the woods. I'm gonna stick, and I'm stubborn on my general bubble, which I'm sitting right there, and it's gonna go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn, whatever turn this is, turn 4, turn 3, around there. And Ian right now is cussing up a storm. He's like, "Son of a bitch! I was hoping you killed more. I measured this wrong." His skeletons are gonna get side flanked by my savages, and there's just no way around it. He has he was hoping that either I couldn't see him, and just because the 2 guys that are remaining in the back, I will be able to see them. So I'm gonna go ahead and declare that charge there. I'm charging Chicken Head, the Chariot, and the Goblins all into that unit over of ghouls over there. I know it looks like I could charge his wraiths with my general, but I can't. He is the way I put this model, I was saying he's facing the other direction basically, so I can't see them. I have no line of sight. So sure enough, that's gonna happen. All that's gonna happen. My Chicken Head goes in alone. The Chariot and the Goblins were like, "Nah, we were just kidding. We're not going in." So they're just gonna go ahead and sit back. That sucks. Magic phase. Oh, I rallied my Gargantula too, by the way. Magic phase. Got 10 power dice. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up 5 dice onto Mind Razor, and it does not go off. Or he dispels it. It goes off, it just dispels it. So then he used the dispel scroll is what he did. So then I'm going to go ahead and throw up the rest onto Here We Go. I get double 6s, but now he dispels it with the dice, and that was a very lackluster magic phase. Shooting phase! I'm going to go ahead and shoot the Git Launcher back into the Barrel Guard, kill off 4 more of these guys. I'm going to go ahead and shoot my Splatterer, and it gets a misfire, and it takes a wound. Close combat over here. Chicken Head kills off 3 guys on that charge. He's going to go attack back. He actually puts a wound through my 3 up armor, 4 up regen, and so I charged. I did 3 wounds. I'm at 4 combat res. He has 3 ranks and a wound. So we're at 4 and 4. He does not have a musician. It's a push. We're just going to sit there for a turn. Over here. Oh, man. The feral orcs were hungry. Holy crap, were they hungry. They ate all the skeletons. They had impact hits. They had just massive amount of damage. He swings with his Vampire Lord on my savages, or my ferals, and he gets 4 whiffs. He was like, "Are you kidding me?" So his skeletons in the back against my goblins, they did a couple wounds. Of course, goblins are getting whittled away, but he ends up crumbling to the point where his characters are starting taking crumble damage. His BSB takes 1 damage, and there's 1 skeleton in the back there. I am definitely winning combat there, but he was about to call it right now, because if I crumbled his lord to death, it was just going to cause a big major ash to ash, or dust to dust, whatever it's called, and cause everybody to start losing and dying. So he's about to call it quits right there. Over here, his spirit hosts do 1 wound onto my giant. My giant fails to wound him again, but he is still stubborn on a 10. And basically that is it. It's going to go ahead and start off his turn. Vampire's turn 4, I think this was. He's going to go ahead and charge his wraiths into my chariot. My pretty chariot. And I think that was... Oh, he's charging his Barrow Guard into my Feral Orcs. He got a side flank. That's his saving grace right now. If he needs to take out a good chunk of my savages and hope that his lord kills off a bunch of them and lives, and he's hoping that that'll swing things in his favor. So Magic Phase got 8 power dice, excuse me. He throws up Invocation, gets some skeletons back over here. And that was it. Over here, his Spirit Hosts end up taking 2 damage. I did swing with Club again. I end up doing 2 wounds, and then I Thunderstomp, or no, I don't Thunderstomp. But he ends up taking 1 wound from Crumble, so that's awesome. Over here, his wraiths, they end up doing 3 wounds onto my Orc Chariot. My Orc Chariot's gonna fail because he can't hurt him, and he's gonna flee, and he flees this way. He overruns and clips into the side flank of my goblins. That sucks. Over here, I'm going to go ahead and do Chicken Head. He ends up doing 2 wounds. He fails to wound Chicken Head. He has 2 ranks against my 2 wounds. Again, it's another push. And then over here, oh man, my feral orcs were pissed for being side flanked. They did 13 wounds. 13. I got 18 attacks with 5 guys. Okay, or 6 guys. And I did 13 wounds, and he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I mean, granted, it does help that he couldn't get off clips in the end. That spell kept sticking there every round and fucking up that barrel guard unit, and he kept on trying to 2 dice it to dispel it, and he kept on messing up with the 2 dice. So sure enough, I ended up killing 13 of them. He goes ahead and he attacks back, and he kills off a bunch of my feral orcs. His lord goes again and whiffs twice. His lord and his BSB both whiff and couldn't kill shit. And his skeletons kill off 1 goblin. His barrel guard killed off a ton of my feral orcs. They killed off 11 of mine. But sure enough, I win combat res. I mean, he got a charge, a flank. I got a flank. I got banner BSB. He has BSB. I mean, it's everywhere. He has a rear charge. I think I might be winning by 1 or 2. But regardless, it's like at this point he's just looking at it and he's just like, yeah, this is over. He's like, by the time the next turn goes, you're gonna kill off more of my barrel guard, and it's done. So and it's my turn next, anyways. So yeah, that is the end of the game. It is a massive orc victory. I really enjoyed this game because it allowed me to see some of the strengths of certain pieces in my army. One is the rock splatter. I thought it did great. I actually liked the goblin horde, even though I didn't really like them with spears so much. I did like the goblin horde because it offers a great protection to my flank of my feral orcs. The giant did great, actually. Even though he got hit by ethereal, he did great. He stuck there. He wasn't really worried about it. He didn't, like anything. Chicken Head is Chicken Head. He's always going to do great. My general just kind of floated around. He didn't have to do much. And then my gargantula kind of got chumped by some ethereal monsters. But overall, my MVP is these guys, man. The forest goblins. These forest goblins. I got to give them a name. I gave everything a name, if you haven't noticed. But my forest goblins, they took out the wolves, they took out the bats, they held a turn against a vampire lord. They held like 3 turns against a vampire lord and allowed my feral orcs to get a side flank, which was huge. Huge. The vindictive glares were blasting people. The long shot skull splitter bow was just blasting people. They just sat there and just nailed whoever they wanted to nail. I loved it. They did great. And sure enough, they're going to get my MVP vote for the game. My runner-up is actually my Splatterer. My Splatterer was crushing those barrel guard. I'm going to tell you right now, and I think Ian knows this, if he had a fully functional barrel guard unit, all 30 of them with the White King and everything, because he has the White King in that unit, if he had all of them in that unit attacking, it would have been a different story. I would have lost. I would have had to use my Crown of Command. But because the rock splatterer just destroyed chunks and chunks and chunks of them before they even got into combat, and he couldn't even restore more wounds than I was doing, my feral orcs were able to stick around, and that won me the game, really. So I got to give it to my forest goblins. I got to give my runner up to the splatterer. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoy making them. I love these things. It really does. It really does motivate me to make the videos, just because it gives me ideas on what to do for my army, and I hope that you guys enjoy them and like them. So hit like, hit subscribe, leave some comments, leave some feedback. I love your feedback. It makes me, it motivates me too as well. Anyways, I have a game still against Dan, against his Highborn Elves right after this game, and then yesterday I played a game against Len against his Lizardman army. We did 3,000 points, and that's a fun game too. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy this, and I'll be making those next videos as soon as I can. I also have my Orc Chariot conversion video coming up for the content team, because it should be. I think people should be submitting their final product now-ish, but so I did. I'm about to, anyways, after I publish this video. Alright guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video, and Merry Christmas, by the way. Happy holidays, and see you next time. Peace.